Doctors don't want you to know this, but healers from thousands of years ago were doing something every single night before bed, and modern science is finally starting to explain why it worked. They put salt under their feet. And no, this isn't some silly home remedy. There's a reason this practice survived for thousands of years across completely different cultures, countries, and civilizations. People who had zero contact with each other, all doing the exact same thing. So, what did they know that we forgot? Your feet are not just things that carry you around. They are one of the most powerful entry points into your entire body. The bottom of your feet has over 70,000 nerve endings. That's more than almost any other part of your body. Ancient healers knew this. They built entire medical systems around it, and salt, real unprocessed salt, was one of their most used tools. Today, we're going to go deep into this. We're going to look at what ancient cultures were actually doing, why they were doing it, what salt contains that makes it so interesting to the body, and what happens when you put it on the soles of your feet, especially if you're over 60 and you're dealing with things like swollen ankles, poor sleep, cold feet, aches, or low energy. You're going to want to stay with this because some of this might genuinely surprise you. Let's start with a problem that almost nobody talks about, but that affects millions of older adults every single day. As we age, circulation gets worse. It's just a fact. The heart has to work harder. The blood vessels lose some of their flexibility. And the very tips of the body, the hands, the feet, the toes, start to get less blood flow than they used to. When your feet don't get good circulation, a whole chain of problems starts. Your feet get cold at night and you can't sleep. Your ankles swell up by the end of the day. You might feel a strange tingling or numbness. Your skin on your feet gets dry and cracked. And if you have any nerve issues, which are very common after 60, that can get worse too. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Poor circulation in your feet can affect your whole body. Your sleep quality drops. Your energy during the day drops. Your joints start to ache more because inflammation builds up in areas where blood isn't moving well. Even your mood can be affected, and most people are told just wear compression socks, elevate your legs, drink more water. That's all fine advice. But ancient healers were attacking this problem from a completely different angle. They went to the feet directly, and they used salt. Let's go back in time for a moment. In ancient China, there was a medical practice called reflexology. It's still used today. The idea is that the bottom of your foot is like a map of your entire body. Different zones on your foot connect to different organs and systems. Press on the right spot, stimulate it, apply something to it, and you can create effects in organs that are far away from your feet. This wasn't just China. In ancient Egypt, archaeologists found wall carvings that show healers working on people's feet. These carvings are over 4,000 years old. The Egyptians believed the feet were the gateway to the rest of the body. Native American healers used foot treatments regularly. So did traditional healers in India through a system called Ayurveda, which is one of the oldest health systems in the world. In Ayurveda, the feet are called one of the most important marma points, which basically means energy centers in the entire body. All of these cultures, separated by oceans and centuries, came to the same conclusion. If you want to help the body heal, pay attention to the feet. Now, where does salt come in? Salt was not just a food in ancient times, it was medicine, it was currency. In the Roman Empire, soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, which is actually where the word salary comes from. Ancient healers used salt for everything from wound healing to skin conditions to digestive problems. And when it came to the feet, they used it in a very specific way. They would take coarse natural salt, not the refined white table salt we use today, but salt that still had all its minerals in it. And they would either rub it into the soles of the feet, pack it around the feet, or create a foot soak with it before sleep. The goal was to draw out heat from the body, pull out what they called bad energy or toxins, and stimulate the nerve endings in the soles. Now, here's where it gets really interesting from a modern science perspective. Salt is hygroscopic. That's a fancy word that just means it pulls moisture toward itself. When you put salt on skin, it draws fluid from deeper layers of tissue toward the surface. For swollen feet and ankles, which are swollen because fluid is pooling there, this pulling action can actually help move that fluid. Not a lot on its own, but it starts a process. But there's more to it than just that. Real, unprocessed salt, things like Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt, contains up to 84 different trace minerals. These include magnesium, potassium, calcium, and zinc, among many others. These are minerals your body needs and minerals that can actually be absorbed through the skin. This is called transdermal absorption. Your skin is not just a barrier, it's also something that can take things in. This is why nicotine patches work, why certain pain patches work, why hormone creams work, things can pass through skin into the bloodstream. When you put mineral-rich salt on the soles of your feet, which, remember, have more nerve endings and more active skin than almost anywhere else on your body, those minerals can begin to be absorbed. Magnesium is the big one here. Most people over 60 are deficient in magnesium. It's estimated that more than 50% of adults in Western countries don't get enough magnesium through their diet. And magnesium is involved in over 300 different chemical reactions in your body. It helps muscles relax, it supports your heart rhythm, it helps you sleep, it reduces inflammation, it helps nerves function properly. When you apply magnesium-rich salt to the soles of your feet before bed, you may be giving your body a way to absorb what it's been missing. Many people who start doing this report sleeping more deeply within the first week. They wake up less during the night, their feet feel warmer, their ankles are less swollen in the morning. Is this placebo? Some of it might be, but the biology of transdermal magnesium absorption is real and documented, and the ancient healers were stumbling onto this without any labs or research papers, just centuries of observation. Let's also talk about something called the lymphatic system, because this is something most people don't think about, but it becomes very important as we age. Your lymphatic system is basically your body's internal cleaning system. It removes waste, fights infection, and helps manage swelling. Unlike your blood, which is pumped by your heart, your lymphatic fluid doesn't have a pump. It moves through muscle contractions and body movement. When you're less active, as many older adults are, the lymphatic system starts to slow down. The feet are at the bottom of this system, and lymphatic fluid can pool there. That's another reason for swelling, heaviness, and that tired, puffy feeling around the ankles. Stimulating the soles of the feet through massage, salt application, foot soaks physically helps move lymphatic fluid. It's not magic. It's just movement and stimulation of tissue, but the effect can be felt pretty quickly. There's also the nervous system angle. The vagus nerve is one of the most important nerves in your body. It connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your gut. When you're stressed, when you're inflamed, when you're not sleeping, the vagus nerve is often involved, and activating it can calm everything down. Gentle stimulation of the feet, warm water, the sensation of salt on skin. These things activate a calming response in the nervous system. This is partly why foot massages feel so relaxing. You're not just relaxing muscles, you're actually sending calming signals up through the nervous system to the brain. Ancient healers didn't know the word vagus nerve, but they knew that working on the feet made people calmer, helped them sleep, and reduced pain throughout the body. They figured it out through watching what worked. Now, let me tell you something that might change how you think about this entirely. There's a concept in traditional Chinese medicine called the kidney one point. It's located on the sole of your foot, just below the ball of the foot, right in the center. In Chinese medicine, this point is called the bubbling spring because it's the point where energy enters the body from the earth. The kidney one point is considered one of the most powerful acupressure points in the entire body. It's used to calm anxiety, lower blood pressure, improve sleep, reduce foot pain, and support kidney function. Modern research on acupressure has started to back up some of these claims. A study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that stimulating the kidney one point had measurable effects on heart rate and blood pressure. Other studies have shown it can reduce insomnia in elderly patients. When ancient healers applied salt to the soles of the feet, they were, whether they knew it or not, directly stimulating this point. The coarse texture of the salt would create friction and pressure. The minerals in the salt would be absorbed right at this location. The warmth that salt can produce when wet would dilate blood vessels and increase circulation to this exact spot. They were hitting multiple targets at once: circulation, mineral absorption, nerve stimulation, lymphatic movement, nervous system calming, and they figured all of this out without a single study. That's the moment I want you to sit with. The people who came before us were not stupid. They didn't have technology, but they had thousands of years of careful observation. When something worked, when people slept better, when swelling went down, when pain reduced, they kept doing it. When something didn't work, it got dropped. What survived for thousands of years across dozens of cultures tends to have a reason. So let's bring this together. Ancient healers used salt under the feet because, though they described it in the language of energy and spirit, they had observed real physical effects. Salt draws fluid. Salt contains minerals that the body can absorb through skin. The sole of the foot is densely packed with nerve endings and sits directly over acupressure points that connect to the whole body. Stimulating the feet has measurable effects on circulation, the lymphatic system, and the nervous system. For older adults dealing with swollen ankles, cold feet, poor sleep, aching joints, or just a general sense of heaviness and fatigue. This ancient practice is worth understanding and potentially worth trying. The simplest version: dissolve a tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt in warm water. Soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes before bed. Dry them gently. Notice how you sleep that night. You can also make a salt scrub. Just mix coarse salt with a little olive oil or coconut oil and rub it into the soles of your feet in gentle circles for a few minutes before rinsing. This combines the mineral absorption with the physical stimulation of those nerve endings. Do this for a week and pay attention to your feet, your sleep, your energy in the morning. Your body will tell you if it's working. The ancient healers didn't need a clinical trial to trust what they could see with their own eyes, and neither do you.